Hi everyone, Meteorologist Pat Cavlin here again with another weather update. Since we last saw you during the 10 o'clock show, the severe threat has really started to wind down. Unfortunately, because this storm is pretty much becoming stationary now up through portions of Montgomery and Walker counties, we are now seeing a flash flooding threat. So a flash flood warning now in effect until 12:45 this morning. So we've got a pretty long time to go on this. And to be honest, unfortunately, looking at these radar trends, I would not be shocked if they extended that warning farther south into Montgomery County. So let's get you in for a closer look to show you what's going on. Again, the severe threat has really started to wind down. I mean, it's still a feisty storm here along I-45 into Montgomery County, just north of Conroe, into the woodlands. We could see gusty winds, maybe even some small hail. I mean, that's still not out of the question, but will it reach severe limits? You know, will you see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts? We see inch-in-diameter hail? No, that's not what the thinking is anymore. These storms are very, very slowly starting to wind down, but there is still enough energy in the atmosphere to support some really heavy rainfall rates, some really efficient rainfall rates from Grimes County all the way into Waller County. And, you know, we've got also, again, just this flash flooding threat that's continuing right now. So up places like San Jacinto, the town, again, not the county, the town of San Jacinto, up into Huntsville. So along I-45 down through New Waverly, this is where that flash flooding threat is in place right now. As we take in for a closer look, you can see we're actually catching a break from the rain. So Huntsville, you're included in this flash flood warning. It's not raining right now, but we do have rain starting to push back into the area. So San Jacinto, it's raining again. Loma, it's starting to rain again. Maybe even some small hail just to the north of Loma where that pink area is. I took the lightning off, so just know that there is thunder and lightning going on, but I took the lightning off just so you could get an idea of what the rain situation is looking like. Over the last few hours, these are the radar estimated rain totals. So right along Highway, I believe this is Highway 30 here, Texas 30, over 3 inches of rain. So there's the bullseye right there. Surrounding it, though, we've had ranges anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches, and that has fallen again just in the last two and a half hours as that storm has pushed through the area. So these are some pretty impressive rainfall numbers that are stacking up. So that's what I was talking about. So the storm went through, we caught a break, and now notice we get this wave of heavy rain starting to push back towards the east, towards I-45, towards Huntsville. So the National Weather Service concerned that we could be dealing with the potential for additional flooding. But again, look at this heavy rain down here in northern Montgomery County and how this really hasn't moved, you know, in the last hour or so. So I would not be surprised if they pulled that warning farther south. This is a look at the estimated rainfall rates per hour. And I didn't select the higher areas here in the pink and the dark red just because you could have some hail mixing in, so that corrupts the radar data, or at least you know what the radar is thinking in terms of rainfall numbers. But generally speaking, we're between 1/2 inch and 1 inch per hour. And if this cell sits over your area for an hour, you know, you could quickly get 1 inch, but this is in some of the lighter areas. I mean, we could definitely see rainfall rates within here upwards of 2 to 3 inches per hour. And so with a slow moving cell, with areas that are prone to see some flooding, you know, definitely not out of the question that this could become an issue for a lot of us. So again, we've got this flash flood warning in effect till 12:45 in the morning. Fast moving water and fast rising water are going to be a huge issue. So if you live in an area up here that's prone to flooding, you know, this is for you. So make sure that if your street is prone to flooding, try to move your car to higher ground. If flooding starts to move into your area, move to a higher floor, move to higher ground as well. If you live in an area that's prone to flooding, you know, maybe think of another place to stay tonight even, just in case, you know, this water starts to come into your house. I mean, it's tough because it's a fast evolving situation. You know, this kind of came out of nowhere, so it's kind of tough to prepare ahead for these situations. Make sure that anything, if you do have water coming into your house, if that does start to happen, unplug electrical devices. So if you're on the first floor there, anything that's plugged into an outlet, unplug it. So that way you reduce the risk of a short circuit or a fire developing when that water makes contact with the outlet. God forbid it gets that high up. So just things to start thinking ahead if you live in these areas, again, that's a little more prone to flooding. So again, if you live around the Loma area up towards Huntsville, you know, these are the spots that we have to watch for with this flooding threat. We'll pause the radar just to give you an idea, again, real quick, of what's going on here. So this batch here is no longer considered to be severe, so they dropped the severe thunderstorm warning. That's what we were tracking earlier, but now we have this flash flooding threat, and that's what we're really worried about right now. And it's just to the south or rather just to the north of San Jacinto here along Texas 30. So between Huntsville and pretty much including Loma, San Jacinto, as you get into Grimes County, that's where the threat drops off. So it's really in this highlighted area in the green that we're concerned about, all the way up towards Crabs Prairie as well. So heavy rainfall right now starting to move back into this area that already got upwards of 3 inches of rain. So we're expecting more rain on top of the rain that's already fallen within the last few hours. So again, this threat is not over yet. As we just show you the radar loop here in the last hour, you know, again, this rain really isn't moving quickly in a hurry. You know, it's kind of coming in waves. So we had a break. Huntsville, it's not raining where you are right now. You've caught a break for the last 30 to 45 minutes, but now heavy rain is starting to kind of cycle back into your area. And we've got heavy rain down here as well. So even though flash flooding, you know, even though there isn't a flash flood warning into northern Montgomery County, I would not be surprised if places like New Waverly, or at least Panorama Village here down towards Montgomery, kind of got included in this, or at least in this section of Montgomery County here, the northern parts, if you got included into this flash flooding threat. If this cell sits still with these rainfall rates of 2, 3, 4 inches per hour, that's where we're going to see the flash flooding threat eventually shift farther south. So unfortunately, it's going to be a long night for some of us. The good news, though, the severe threat is really starting to wind down here, but still a lot of lightning with this storm. And you can see there's 2 cores of this lightning. You've got a core here in northern Montgomery County, and then you have another core up here into Grimes County. So 2 stronger portions of this cell, but again, nothing severe at this point, just the flash flooding threat here as you get into Walker County. So we'll pause it. We'll show you what's going on again. Just to recap, till 12:45 in the morning, flash flooding. So be on the lookout for that. If you live in an area that has flooded before, take the steps that you need to preserve any property that you have, especially on the first floor of your house. Heavy rain continues to fall through northern Montgomery and Grimes County as well. Nothing severe at this point, but if that changes, we're going to let you know. And that's the latest. And you can always stay up to date with what's going on with KHOU, with the app and online. Thank you so much for watching.